What's up YouTube? It's the man of Dorks here. My name's Jeremy, and today I'm bringing you a new video for our channel, a new segment that Brandon and I will be doing together. I'm just giving you a small little preview, and I'll go over one of them as to give you an example. It's going to be a breakdown of legendary creatures that you see as commanders or don't see. We'll break them down, analyze their stats, from mana cost, power and toughness, to abilities, to how easy or how hard they are to use. And our goal is to help new players, as well as expert players, find new ways to use these cards. And we'll give them a grade on how good or how bad we think they are. This is completely our opinion. It is not fact in any way, because if we think a card may not be too strong or versus a card may be too strong, someone else might think differently. Our goal is just to help players get some outside opinions and knowledge on them. And without further ado, we'll break down one today for you and see how you guys like it. Welcome to Dorks Analysis. Alright everyone, it's time to ramp your experience with our Dorks Analysis. And our commander today that we will be analyzing is Vivi Ornitier. He is definitely a big controversy topic. We see him all the time in our groups on Facebook being posted about, should he be banned? Is he this? Is he that? Why is he this? And everyone thinking Watsy made another mistake with this commander. But today we're just going to do a breakdown and give you our opinions of Vivi Ornitier and see where we stand with him. So first off, we are going to start with his colors. He is it colors, red, blue, and his total CMC is 3. So you can expect him out by turn 3, but depending on the build and how players run, you could see him out as early as turn 2, turn 1. And that's where I could say the CEDH part comes in if you see him out that quick. So he has a great CMC, really easy to bring out. He has 2 different effects on him. He has the activated ability that costs 0, where you can add X mana of any combination of blue and or red, where X is Vivi's power. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn. So it is a hard once per turn with that ability, and it is sorcery speed. So it's not something you could do at instant speed to interact with your opponent during their turn and make some kind of extravagant chain play, like do this, this, and this, and then go off that way. It's all going to be showcased during your turn, and which will give your opponents a chance to interact. And then he has, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Vivi Ornitier, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So with that ability, if you're playing Vivi, you're probably going to play Spell Slingers with a lot of cantrips. And what that will do is allow you to add those counters to Vivi and really set him off. But it all depends on what you open, what cards you get, like what you're running in your deck. Vivi himself has no protection, so he is very vulnerable to removal. But granted, you are playing blue, which gives you some protection. His stats are nowhere near the best. He is a 0/3 body, so 0 power, 3 toughness. So his mana ramping effect is useless as he first comes out, unless you have some kind of lord on the ability that gives creatures, red creatures and red creatures and blue creatures, I apologize, +1/+1. So you could make him effectively a 2/5 and get 2 mana off the bat. But those don't normally come out that early, and you don't see many of those in games. So he's normally going to come out at 0, and you'll probably wait a turn or two before you see him pop off, which gives opponents, once again, a chance to interact and remove him from the board. So with the 0-3 stat, the vulnerability, lightning bolts, lightning strikes, any kind of damage that's fast is easy to hit him with. And you're not going to be able to chump block with him unless it's a 2-2 or less. Otherwise, you'll risk losing him. But as the game progresses, his stats will increase due to the counters if he is left unchecked. All in all, we think he is a great commander. He has potential to be fun, even in lower class games. I mean, like lower brackets, like if someone just popped a precon and you're playing Vivi, that's not very nice. And that wouldn't be welcoming to the new players wanting to play precons. But if you're playing against players who've played a while and they have bracket 3, bracket 4 decks, Vivi's would be pretty fair in there, depending on what you're running, how many game changers, what's your game plan. And all in all, I don't see him particularly going crazy unless you give him the curiosity draw effects, Ophidion's Eye, Curiosity, and there's that one creature that soul bonds to him. I have it in my deck, I just couldn't think of its name off the top of my head, I apologize. But all of them, whenever Vivi deals damage to an opponent, you'll draw a card. So if you play non-creature spell, you're doing 3 damage, drawing 3 cards, and that just keeps him going. That's where the trouble really begins, is when he has a consistent draw engine. But to go through the breakdown for you guys, we'll break down his CMC, his effects, and stats, and give him an overall grade on each one, and then give him an average. You guys are more than welcome to comment what you guys think. We welcome any opinions on this. Starting off with CMC is 3, a blue, red, and 1 generic. Relatively easy to pull off in a 2-color deck. You'll probably have what you need. And depending if you're playing any kind of ramp like Simian Spirit Guide or 0-drop artifacts that can give mana relatively quick, Lotus Petal, stuff like that, you can get him out relatively quick. So we will definitely give him his CMC an A+. Definitely really easy to bring out. You can do it by turn 2, 3, depending on what you open. Definitely turn 3, but possible 1 opening broken. Can do turn 2, but definitely a turn 3 commander can come out. His effects are pretty strong. Not the strongest I've seen, not Nadu level, nowhere near Nadu level. He does not possess a consistent draw to keep himself going, so you need to have stuff in your deck to keep your hand full to cast spells for Vivi. The fact that his mana effect is only once per turn, or well, once each turn, you would literally have to blink him or use something to copy his effect to get another version, such as Quicksilver Elemental, which will grant you infinite mana. But that he himself does not make an infinite combo. You need multiple pieces for it. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you do get a 1/1 counter, and he deals 1 damage to each opponent. 1 damage isn't necessarily a big deal, and the 1/1 counter is the more important part because you need him to get bigger. The damage only becomes a problem when you are spell slinging at a consistent rate, or if you have something that would increase the damage value, such as Odretok, which will make Vivi's 1 damage into 4, which 10 spells in a spell slinger deck to kill everyone, that's pretty strong. But Odretok is a 4 CMC to bring out, so it's mid-range. But other than that, he doesn't have many faults to his effects except for the once each turn, and if you blink him to try and reset that, he would not enter with any counters, so you'd have to cast more spells to get his counters up. So we will definitely give his effect an A. It's strong, but not strong in a way where it's completely broken. And then finally, we're going down to his stats. He's a 0 power, 3 toughness. Very vulnerable to removal with those stats. You can't really use him to chump block and hope for him to survive unless he starts getting 1/1 counters on him. If you can at least get 2 counters on him, I mean, he's at least a 2/5. He has better survivability. But as it stands with him coming out early game, he is liable to be bolted. He's vulnerable to swords, plowshares, path to exile. He does not have protection in his abilities. So we will definitely give his stats a D due to him not having any power, but okay toughness, but not enough to survive a bolt. And that's up to speculation if you guys think his stats should be rated higher in terms of power and toughness. I mean, I welcome the comments. This is just going by our perspective and his vulnerabilities. But all in all, with an A plus CMC, an A ability, and a D power and toughness, I would honestly say he's an overall rated A commander. Really powerful, really fun, but his big weakness is he's vulnerable to removal, and he needs to build up his power to get the most value out of him. But we welcome any opinions on what you think of Vivi. How strong do you think he is? Is he bracket 5 CDH? Is he going to pub stomp tables? And do you feel that if you see a Vivi player on the table, does he need to be targeted right away, or is it something that should only be worried about if you notice he's going to go unchecked? In our opinion here, though, as long as Vivi's kept in check and doesn't have any curiosity draw effects, he's not a terrible threat at the table. But as the game goes on in later turns, he can become a very viable threat, which is why we will keep the A rating. And we welcome your guys' opinions, and we look forward to bringing you more legendary creature analysis in the future, and hope to get some interaction from you guys. And if you guys want to see a legendary creature get graded and you feel it's strong and others don't, let us know in the comments. We will happily take any legendary creature that's your commander that you like, even if it's a niche type, and we will give it a grade, and we'll go from there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching our very first Dork analysis video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you in the future with more analysis videos.